Hello, welcome back, Felix. Today on Storm Clear, we are making a very urgent, kind of emergency video for the UK weather. UK weather is expected to make a dramatic change and actually a big turn for the worst. At the moment, Hurricane Debby is causing very significant weather conditions in Florida as we speak. Actually, it's just actually come out of Florida now. Orlando. Yeah, it was a very powerful storm. A lot of rainfall. So, but we aren't looking over there, and we actually do need to have a look at O&E, which I believe that's tracked a different way. Oh, we've got Amelia coming now as well, have we? It's interesting. Oh, it's going away. And 96E. Charlotte Daniel. That might have been the one I got confused with. Anyway, UK weather. Very bad. Very, very bad. So you see the UK obviously here. We'll go forward and you'll just see it's not too bad. We've got some strong winds, quite consistent. Then we go into this high pressure. So Saturday it will be very nice, I believe. Pretty much. But we need to keep an eye on this system. And this, you can't even see it over here. It's just off in the New York area at the moment. Watch this system. This one explodes. So you see here, it's very south in the Atlantic. Usually they come from around this sort of trajectory. For some reason it's down here, which means the oceans are warmer, which is why it intensifies quicker. You see, yes, the colours are starting to get darker, a bit darker, and it makes a bit of a drop actually, and then the colours really start to ramp up. I'm not going to zoom in too far because cause thinking about storage and all that, I've got a lot to get through. By the time it reaches the UK, oh, don't do this to me. Sorry, I'll be back. Bit too far. There we are. So we've got a lot of intake, and then we've got a lot. Wow, just rapid rotation. Don't play up. It's around. It'll probably reach around 70 miles an hour because it's always going to get worse. This was the wind speed forecast 2 weeks ahead of Storm Kian, and this wind speed's been forecast for quite a while. It's actually reported at 40. It's pretty much nearly doubled in the last week. We saw that with Kian. It pretty much doubled. I won't even say 160. It was 50. It went up to 75. So this one's actually intensifying at more in same rate. I would expect this one to reach 70 miles an hour. I think it's just going to happen. We've got wind speeds of around 68 in some areas. 68 in some areas. And really it just fizzles out quite quickly, really. We do get pockets of some very strong winds up, in higher elevated areas. And then we go to the precipitation. This is the problem. See, the worst of the precipitation really hits Ireland. Ireland hasn't had a very stormy year compared to some years. It's been southwest or Scotland. So it's just, look at where the rainfall, look how quick that storm shifts. Then you've got the rapid rainfall totals, big rainfall totals really increasing, and then they stay put and get worse and worse, and it starts to move. Like I said, it just stays over Ireland, really. As it swings across, it obviously gets the southwest saturated. The Met has a lot more of this rain towards the southwest, but it's everywhere. The thunder and lightning. It will drop across Ireland. It will probably drop around 100, 150 mil. Across the southwest, about 100 mil. 50, 100 mil. It doesn't look like it, but I've skipped ahead. But Saturday and Sunday we have another mini storm come through, but I'm just concerned about time. And it drops around 30-40 mil, so we're in a good small amount of time. Now we've got, this is another more intense system, and so much rain this is going to drop. You mean you've got a decent amount. You've got the thunder and lightning. There is a real high chance of tornadoes here because you've got the weather front mixed in with thunderstorms. You've got the rainfall. You've got the wind. You've got the rapid change in direction. And as this storm comes across, you can see the time of day. It's another big concern, and it's just then it just fizzles out. So I think they haven't updated this fully yet. But if we look at wind gusts, so wind gusts, I believe this one will reach 100 miles an hour. It's only going to reach around 80-90 at the moment. We can see my area, somewhere in here, I'm not going to say where, it is already forecast 80 miles an hour. And we're going to have a look at some of the more intense bits as the first impact. We've got 65. Inland it's a bit calmer, so definitely amber weather warnings, because I will go through the list in a minute. It is a rather high-paced storm. You can see 78 there. I see 79, I think I just saw. Yep, 79 miles an hour. And it just fizzles out. These storms don't have a lot of, stamina. And they don't stay strong for very long. And that is quite good, really. So we're going to look at the thunderstorms. They aren't the most intense. You can see we've got quite a rather volatile batch of thunderstorms coming. So as soon as you let the storm pass, the second storm, you've got basically another mini storm in here. The winds are only like 36, but these thunderstorms could have winds of like 70-80 mile an hour. And they hit the Channel Islands more, overall more. See, the thunderstorms, I would expect a tornado outbreak in Stoke-on-Trent yet again this year. This is just literally from Monday Storm. The Monday Storm goes absolutely crazy. 1900 joules per kilogram. That is insane for the UK. That is definitely going to cause some significant problems. You see, the precipitation isn't that bad. The wind gusts aren't that bad, but I don't know why, but they're concerned about the amount of energy in the air. If we had wind coming this way, wind coming this way, we've got this one, we've got a bit of wind coming down. So if they're meeting in this 1700 joule area, and this area they don't actually meet at all. It's a 1700. You've got wind coming up here, you've got wind coming across here. They could mix and cause some problems. Let's see, Sheffield. So yeah, temperatures extremely warm in these storms. 18, probably 19. So yeah, consistent wind speeds of 30 to 40 miles an hour, which is significant. We've got the air pressure, which isn't that low at all. It's 997. I mean, that is not that low. And this is very low for this time of year. But for the rest of the UK, it's not too bad. 983. And the next one coming along is already at 983. It's actually two systems joined together. This system reaches 981, 980, 978. 976, 975, 973, before it dissipates. This system here, it's actually still deepening, 981, but it stays deeper for a longer period of time. This system collapses, fueling this system. Surprisingly, the waves aren't that severe. This is completely wrong. The waves will be way, way worse. I can't see how the waves aren't going to be worse. I mean, you can see they do get a bit bad, but I mean, what's this? 7 meters. What's that? 30 foot. And they're big as well. Humidity. That'll tell you everything you need to know. Feel like temperature, 11 degrees, 10 degrees. So, yeah. Weather warnings then. We'll go through that in a minute. However, factors affecting this time of year is what the crucial problem is. I think there's actually a quick thing. We can actually look at the precipitation totals for the month so far. So it's actually been a drier year than last year when these systems hit. But just last August was very wet. You can see some pretty significant rain totals up here as well. That's a lot wetter than usual. But that isn't. That's just the anomaly. So it's a lot drier. I think this system's been sat here for about 3-4 months. But it's still very wet. Last year was very wet, but we didn't have the wind to cause the problems, and it was very wet, but it wasn't wet all in one go, so it wasn't a big concern. This is going to get wet all in one go. You can see by the end of the month, we've actually had more than average rainfall, and towards the start we had quite a significant drop. So it clearly shows in that small window we're going to get a considerable amount of rain. So yeah, factors which are going to affect it. Weakened structures. This is for the second and kind of third storm really. We've had a couple over the last couple of days, and we've got a few more this weekend, but these are all small low pressure systems before the main 2/3. After the first big one, the second one, which is actually stronger, will tear apart those weakened structures or trees or hills which are just teetering with the amount of water how waterlogged they are with this next band of severe weather coming through. It will cause more significant disruption. The rainfall, as you can see, is very significant. Saturated grounds, obviously from the persistent rainfall we've had. You think we started off the month, by like the 3rd of August, we were like 20 mil down. By the time the storms come in my area, we're 10 mil down. When the storms finish, we're like 20 mil over. That isn't, you've got 40 mil of rain. That is 40 mil of rain plus what we had this time last year. And it was very wet this time last year. So you've got 40 mil. On top of that, on top of saturated ground, because it's kind of hot, but not hot enough to dry out the ground. And because of the tourists and all that, they've got impermeable surfaces set up. So, for example, you've got major festivals, and they get tarpaulin put down so you don't slip on the mud. And that ain't going to be cleared up right away. You've got all the rubbish from that. That's a sewage and pollution alert. You've got river levels already very high. Because of the rainfall, I'm guessing. Like I said, with the tarpaulin, you've got a lot of water parks, which are put temporary pop-up water parks for the month. They've got tarpaulin down. The rain can't penetrate that, so it flows off, floods the roads. The council were absolutely dreadful at unblocking drains, so none of the water can escape. Leaf cover. The trees are in full leaf. These storms, they're coming to the end of their full leaf, to the latter part of the summer. They're starting to weaken. They'll probably quite easily get pulled off. Usually by the time you get storms of this strength, we would have already lost a load of leaves. They would have been cleared up. Because of the climate this year, they are a lot weaker, and because we've got so many powerful systems coming through so close together, now it's a cause for concern. There's also a lot of debris which the council hasn't cleared up from November's major Storm Cian, 135 miles an hour in the county. Eunice was actually 145 in the county. Or was it the other way around? It might have been 145 for us. Or was that Isha? It was one of the two. No, it was Keane, yeah. Isha was Scotland one at 139.8 miles an hour. So 145 for Storm Isha, apparently. They still haven't cleared up the damage from that. So that's pretty significant. There's still a lot of damage there. We've had a few systems come through recently which have caused damage to the trees. The council hasn't cleared it up. We've got power lines still down on the floor because there's arguments over who clears them from November. There's still significant damage to road infrastructure. There's a lot of construction going on, so that's also flying debris risks. It's summer, so you've got your summer furniture out, flying debris risks. The number of people for festivals, tourism, this time of year, and obviously you've got all these other events going on. Fuel the number of people which could get injured. The time of year, obviously, trees, full leaf, people out and about more, etc. Time of day is a cause for concern. The wind direction, south-easterly for the worst storm. Thunder and lightnings are concerned. The volatility, the tornado risk, and of course the wind speed. That's everything in this video. Live streams will be happening. We've got the forecast, the storm, the preparation, the aftermath, the facts and figures. We've got other storm live streams. We've got live streams planning the live streams for the storms. I need to make space on the phone. There'll be a lot of uploads. I need to eat my lunch. That's going to cut it off for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Goodbye.